everybody. How are you? I'm going live because I'm going to make my banana pudding. And I had a couple people ask me about my banana pudding, and I thought I would take you on the journey of creating and making my banana pudding. But first of all, I have to tell you that Kurt is enjoying his snack. So he's sitting right here next to me, and he's having a little snack, eating peanut butter and chocolate chips. Who else eats chocolate chips, peanut butter? Anyway, so hi Christina, how are you? So again, I've been asked a billion times how I make my my banana pudding, and so oh gosh, boys are home, people burping, it's awesome. So I thought I would just show you guys how I make my banana pudding. It's really rather simple. I'm gonna start the whipping cream, and I have a KitchenAid. You could do this with a hand blender. Takes a lot longer that way, but I just use my KitchenAid. And I use the whipping thing. I don't even know what to call it really. I just know what to use. I do a whole quart of heavy whipping cream. It doesn't matter what brand you use. You just use heavy whipping cream, and this is a 1 quart. And so I'm just going to open this up, and I'll set this aside. Oh gosh, I have absolutely no grip, you guys. Pour this in. I don't want it to splash all around. Yeah, okay, so it's really, really easy, and I'll show you the ingredients while this is going. This just takes a few minutes, and so I like to get it going. My KitchenAid's actually relatively new. I got it last year, and it's teal. It's really pretty. Everything in my life is teal, really. And my other one didn't have a splash guard. I love my splash guard because especially when I'm making whipping cream, it doesn't get all over. But you could definitely do what I did for years and years and just put a towel over the top so that it doesn't splatter, because I'm telling you, it'll get everywhere. So I'm just going to put my splash guard on, and sometimes I still even use a towel if it's kind of if it gets still kind of, you know, all over the place, because there is an opening. So gosh, I can't even put this on today. All right, so I'm just gonna, I kind of let it go for a second on low, and then I just kind of move it up, because again, I don't want it to splash out. Hold on. All right. I still think I'm gonna put a towel over it. I'm gonna put it on, I have it on 4. Just so you guys know. I am still going to put a towel on it. I'm not going to let it go too far, but I'm going to show you my ingredients. I had to do, there's always something you have to do ahead of time, and I'm going to show you what I did. I used vanilla Jell-O, and this is the instant Jell-O pudding. Just a large package of this. This is the 5.1 ounce. And then I use a 14 ounce can of sweetened condensed milk. Honestly, right now the stores are out of sweetened condensed milk, so you could use whatever brand. It doesn't matter. You're going to use a whole entire can of that. And then I put about a ½ cup of water with ice cubes in like a 1 cup measuring cup, because it needs to be cold. I don't use the whole ½ cup, but what I did, and this is, I have to make it ahead of time. So this is what it looks like. You put the entire thing of Jell-O pudding mix, empty the entire can of sweetened condensed milk, and then I use my hand mixer and kind of blend it up. And then I slowly add water, the water that I just had that has the ice cubes in it. Try not to get the ice cubes in it. It starts thickening up pretty quick. Especially if you're using cold water. I use probably a little more than a 1/4 cup of water. how it feels and how fast it stiffens up. And so once that's all mixed up and I feel like it's a good consistency, I stick this in the fridge until I'm ready to go. So that's the point where we're at. I also use Chessman cookies. Now, depending on the time of the year, if it's at Easter time, I get the Chessmans that have the Easter. This time it's Christmas, so I get the Chessmans that have the Easter or the Christmas designs on it. I always have Chessmans because I'm always making pudding. So I always have Chessmans. This is what they look like normal. And you definitely could use these any time of the year, but these are yummy. These are butter cookies. I know a lot of people like to use Nilla wafers, but my sister is the one that taught me, or that said, why are you using Nilla wafers? And I go, I know, because that's how you make banana pudding, right? She goes, no, use Chessmans. So Jamie's the one that suggested using Chessmans. Probably a couple of years ago. I haven't used a Nilla wafer ever since. Chantel, yes, it is for tomorrow, and I know that you're allergic to bananas. I'm so sad. But I asked Paula, and she says she's making refrigerator pie, so you got that. I might actually pull some out for you, honey, and just put some, because there's no banana in it until I put bananas in it. So I'll pull some aside for you, sweetie. Chantel is my niece, and we're gonna see her tomorrow. I'm super, super excited. But bananas, we have a few. Oh gosh, you have banana trees, Mary Jo. So Kurt bought a whole bunch of bananas. I generally use about 3 or 4, just depending on the size. I cut them up, and I'll show you. I layer them in my pudding, and I'll show you how I do it in just a few minutes. Let's see. You can't eat pudding anymore. Why not? Why not? So anyway, this is what I'm making I'm the pudding person because my grandma used to make feather pudding, and nobody in Kurt's family likes feather pudding. Only my family, and my mom's gone, so I normally made feather pudding for my mom and my sister, and I'm not going to get to see my sister for Christmas this year. We're not going to be together for Christmas this year, so I'm just going to make my banana pudding, so that's okay. Hi, Aim, how are ya? Oh, see, Stephanie, so it's not an uncommon thing. So Chantel is my niece, and she is allergic to bananas, and so I know I always feel so bad when I make my banana pudding because she can't have any. I feel so bad. So the other thing I need to pull out, oh, let me get it. I have a trifle dish. Let me get my trifle dish. Hold on. This is my trifle dish. It's big. I don't know. I've had this for years. And I always use this for a lot of my puddings. All right. So I don't know if you guys know. Hi, Michael. How are you? I'm going to speed this up just a little bit. Hi, Cher Bear. How are you? I'm going to speed this up a little bit. And I don't know if you know, with whipping cream for meringue, when you're making whipping cream or meringue, you want to make sure that it's not overly stiff. You'll basically kill it. And actually, whipping cream will turn into butter, and you don't want that because that would be bad. You want, when like meringue or whipping cream is done, when you pull the whisk out and it makes like peaks. My dad taught me that. He was famous for his lemon meringue pie. So anyway, so I'm just gonna turn this up. It's almost done. You don't want it to turn into butter. There's that little point between whipping cream and butter. You gotta be really careful. Let me just check it really fast. I hope you guys can hear me okay. All right. See how stiff it is? I don't know. You can't see how stiff it is because I moved the thing. So I don't know if you guys can see how stiff it is. But when the whipping cream stands up, it basically means it's done. But I want to kind of stir it up and make sure that I've got the whipping cream all. See, it's real stiff. That's what I want. Okay. Okay, and I just make sure, because you in the KitchenAids I found that sometimes stuff gets to the bottom, like if you're making a cake or stuff kind of sits at the bottom and it doesn't get stirred in. And so I want to make sure that this is nice and stirred up. So I think I'm going to hit it just for another couple seconds on high. So I don't know if you guys know this, but I love desserts. I love to make desserts. I love to bake. That's kind of my jam. So I don't cook very well. That's a given. I know how to cook. I just don't enjoy it very much. But I do love to make desserts and bake and do stuff like that. My grandma Martin did too. She was really good at all the desserts. She was really good. Oh, I love lemon meringue pie is mine and my sister's favorite. It was my dad's too. If it's close to butter and some salt and keep going, then start over. Oh, that's a good tip. I didn't know that. If it's close to butter, add some salt and keep going, then start over with the whipped cream. That's a good point. You can make butter and then start over. I'm not standing in line at the stores though. That's the thing. English truffle for Christmas. Ooh, you have to share that recipe. That would be yum. I love you too, Cher Bear. Oh, I miss you. It was so good to see you. It was so good to see you. All right, you guys. So I'm going to, now I've got my whipped cream already. I'm going to show you guys. It's nice and stiff. It's not going anywhere. Meringue will make peaks, and whipped cream will be stiff or make peaks. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to, actually I'll probably take it out of my KitchenAid. It'll be easier. I love my KitchenAid, don't you? Can you tell I like teal? Everything I have is teal, you guys. Okay, so I'm going to put, I'm going to take all my pudding mix. And again, it's kind of stiff because it's the pudding and the sweetened condensed milk and just a little bit of water. Like I said, less than quarter cup, I would say, just because you don't want it to be too thin. You want it to be pudding-like. And I'm just going to scrape it all off. Here we go. Put that in the sink. And I'm just going to fold that in. If you want, I might actually do that, is use the whisk and put it in the blender again real fast and just whisk that up. You could use a hand mixer, however you want to do this. I'm probably going to just put it in here real fast. So how's everybody doing? Anybody getting together with their families? I know not a lot of families are getting together, and that's, you know, but we actually get to see Kurt's brother. We don't get to see a lot of his family, so we are going to see his brother tomorrow, brother and sister-in-law, and a couple of their kids. So very grateful that we get to see some people. So I'm just blending. I'm not re-whipping, okay? You just want to do enough to blend that pudding mix in there. All right. All right. Get your spatula and just really fold it in, because you don't want just plain whipped cream, because I don't put any sugar in it because I don't like it overly sweet. The cookies and the bananas give it a lot of natural flavoring with the bananas. You really don't have to put vanilla flavoring in it at all. If I miss anybody's comments, I promise I'll come back in. But again, I just want to fold and grab from the bottom to make sure that's all mixed in. All right. So the first thing I do with my trifle dish is I'm going to cut up, I'm going to put some cookies along the bottom, kind of like a crust. I'm going to put some cookies along the bottom. We just made one not too long ago. So that's why I have some extra cookies. I don't use, I save the broken ones because there's always broken ones, right? So I save the broken ones for the top and crumble on the top. So I just put a layer of the cookies along the bottom, like a crust, kind of fit them in there as best you can. You can overlap them too if you want. Doesn't have to be perfect. And I also try to do this like a day before because it'll soften up the cookies and they won't be just like stiff cookies, okay? So then I'm gonna take a banana and I'm pretty generous with my bananas. I like a lot of banana. I'm not personally a banana fan, except when it comes to banana pudding. I don't know what it is. I think it has to have something with it. But I'm not a big banana fan. So I just slice up the bananas, you know, 1/4 to a half-inch thick pieces, just kind of, and I'll probably put more on the bottom than I do anywhere else. Probably a banana and a half, up to 2 bananas, just depending on the size. And that just gives it a good bottom layer. I'll probably do 2 bananas on the bottom. And again, if you want less bananas, you can do less bananas. That's totally up to you. To each their own. Anybody else baking anything tonight? Because I'm probably going to make some pumpkin cookies. And I could go live and show you how to make those too. That's super easy. Ooh, I don't know. I only have one cake mix for that. That takes spice cake mix. Spice cake mix and super easy, another really super easy thing to make. I try to make easy. You know, when the kids were little, I made a lot of stuff, and it had to be pretty easy because, you know, kids, when they come home, they want treats and stuff fast. Okay, so it's kind of like lasagna. You put the noodles down, and then you put the meat down, and then you put the sauce and cheese, right? So same idea. Cookies is the base, then the bananas, and then I'm gonna put a nice big fat layer of the pudding mix. So I have to tell you a story since Chantal is on here. I don't think she was here at that time, but my brother-in-law and my sister-in-law were here, and my in-laws were here at the time. And it was really funny. We had a couple of the kids, and our kids are big. I mean, it's not like they're little kids anymore, but it was really funny. My father-in-law he's just so cute, and we had dinner, and then I had made a pudding. Well, the kids were upstairs. After dinner they went upstairs, and they were playing video games or whatever. So the adults, we were just kind of hanging out at the table. I'm like, oh my gosh, I totally forgot my banana pudding, and so I got the banana pudding out. And we kind of had plates, but then we wanted more, and we were eating out of the trifle dish. And I'm like, the kids came downstairs and say, hey, is there dessert? And I'm like, oh my gosh, I forgot. We were eating all of the banana pudding. We forgot about the kids. And so I took it, and my father-in-law was eating it. I was like, hey, I was eating that. It was really cute. I guess you had to be there, but it was funny to me. So, okay, so then I'm going to do some more cookies. So I've got the 3 layers so far. Hello, everybody. Hi, Gary. How are you? Again, I keep my broken cookies so that I can use at the end. Now, with this layer, I'm just going to, again, put a nice layer down. I guess I use about 1.5 bags of the cookies, just depending on how many you want. You can have less, you don't have to have them all. But I don't like using cookies that are broken, so I put those aside and I crumble them on top. So I just layer these around. And depending on the size of your trifle dish will determine how many layers you do. Okay. Jen, I get about 3 layers in, just depends. Wow, this one has a lot of broken ones. So another thing that I started doing too is actually taking, and because it's pretty, I put like, I don't know if you guys can see that, a layer around like this on this middle layer. Just because it's pretty. And this is another reason why I use about 1.5 bags. If you don't want to add all of these cookies around the edge, you do not have to, and you'll use a lot less cookies. Ooh, Christmas crack, yum, yum. For apple raisin, ooh, Barbara, that sounds really, really good. I'm telling you, I got a lot of really broken cookies. That makes me sad. So I might steal some from the middle layer. There we go, just enough to make it pretty. Yeah, I've not had this many broken cookies before. That's crazy. Crazy. All right, so I'll just put a broken cookie. I guess it really doesn't matter if there's a broken cookie in the middle, right? Because you're just eating it. All right, so now we've got the cookie layer down, and if you guys can see how I did that, it doesn't have to be perfect. I just kind of made a little ring, and then I'm gonna do another banana. So this is a total of 3 bananas. It'll take probably 2, especially for this middle area. I used about 1.5 on the bottom. Yeah, my brother-in-law, he makes this thing called refrigerator pie. It's just yum. It is so good. I love it. It's a pudding base too. I don't know about pies. I love pies. Kurt's a big apple pie guy. He loves apple pie. And the boys, a couple of them like pumpkin. No, I do not like pumpkin. So that's 2 bananas. All right. So I'm just going to make sure that, by the way, I did wash my hands before all of this. All right. So let me wash them off because they're sticky. Okay. So I don't know, I don't want to mess this up, but you guys can kind of see that, right? So now I'm going to put the last bit of pudding mix in here. Fill that up. And again, if you wanted to go more, you could put, I could just save some for Chantel. I'll just pull a little bit out for her too. You could do more if you wanted to. You do another layer. I don't go all the way up all the time. There we go. You're just smoothing it out like you're, frosting a cake. It's so pretty. And then I'll clean up the edges with a paper towel after. I do have to try it though. Yeah, it's really good. That's pretty. So see how smooth that is on top? Okay. So now what I'll do, I normally don't have this many crunched up cookies, so I'm not quite sure what's going on there. But I just take them and crumble them up on the top, kind of like a little top layer. Crumbly goodness all over. I wouldn't normally use all of these, but gosh, I've got a lot and I don't want to keep them packaged up because there's just not enough to make anything else with. I'm sure there's probably a more graceful way of doing the crumbling, but this is just how I do it. That looks really pretty. And super simple. You just have, the only thing, like I said, that you have to really prepare ahead of time is the pudding mix. And I just let it sit in the fridge. You know, it depends on how fast it's setting up, but at least an hour. I would say an hour. Now, the thing that I do with this is the little bit of banana that was left over from the very base. And so I'm just going to cut a couple different slices just for presentation. It's just for presentation. Kind of put them in the middle. I always get the last bit. Not that I love bananas, but you know. And that's the only little bit that I needed to wipe off. All right. So there you have it. That is my banana pudding. Looks pretty, huh? That's it. And then I stick this in the fridge. I love this. I made that a long time ago. Isn't that pretty? And I just got this trifle dish at like Walmart or Target, like probably 10 years ago. At least 10 years ago, if not longer. But then I'm just going to stick this in the fridge. Doesn't need to be covered or anything, unless you have fish in there or something stinky. Then you want to put a cover over it. But I'll cover it when I take it over to my brother-in-law's house. It's pretty. Hi, Ariel. How are you? Thanks, Brenda. Thanks, Vanessa. Oh my gosh, Barbara, you're so funny. Thank you. Oh gosh. So anyway, if you were making something, make sure you share some pictures. I'll take a picture and do a pretty presentation with my dish, and I'll share it in the comments. But if you make something and you want to share the recipe, please do so in the comments. Like I said, this is super, super simple. 1 can of sweetened condensed milk, 1 large box of vanilla. I use vanilla because I don't like it overly banana-y. 1 large thing of vanilla instant pudding, 1 quart of heavy whipping cream, and just a little bit less than 1/4 cup of ice water, 1.5 bags of Chessman cookies, and about 4 bananas. I used 4 bananas, so that was it. All right, you guys, have a great night and Merry Christmas if I don't see you. I know Logan was wanting to learn how to wrap a gift, and so I have a few more gifts that I have to have wrapped, and so I told him I'd teach him how to wrap. So maybe I will actually do it live because I think this is going to be funny. He's 25 years old and he's never wrapped a gift. How have I failed him as a mother? Anyway, have a great night. Merry Christmas, you guys. Have a good night. Thank you. Bye.